Today I'm going to be doing a really easy meal prep with meals for the week. If you're new here, I'm Amy. I'm a wife and a mom to a just turned 1-year-old and an almost 3-year-old, and I love to share what I'm cooking for my family. I do also include WW points and calories. I'm transitioning right now from eating more to eating less. I'm trying to, at least. It's kind of a hard transition. I just stopped nursing a few days ago, but it's currently 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, and I'm excited to get this meal prep started. I have a list of everything that I need, everything that I'm gonna make. So I'll go ahead and take everything out that I'm gonna use and show you it right now. I have all of the ingredients laid out except for the seasonings. I also made some overnight oats a couple of days ago, and I'm going to include the footage for that too, just because I thought that was a really good recipe. But over here, I have all of the ingredients for a hash brown omelet. I saw My Busy Kitchen on Instagram make this. I thought it looked really, really good. So it's basically an omelet, but it's kind of crusted in some grated zucchini and some hash browns. And then I'm going to put cheese in it. I might also add some pepper just because we do have a lot of peppers. They were on a really good sale. I'm going to make some really delicious sounding brownie granola. I thought this would be perfect for a snack during the day on top of yogurt or something like that. So here are all those ingredients. So it's going to be some oats, maple syrup, cocoa powder, coconut oil, almond butter, and chopped walnuts. This will probably be a bit higher in points and calories, but I figure you don't need to use that much granola to get that really delicious flavor and texture. And then I'm gonna be making a BLT pasta salad. This one sounds so delicious, and this one's really low in points and calories per serving. So it's pasta, bacon, Miracle Whip. You could use mayo, light mayo, anything like that. It calls for low-fat buttermilk, which I did not buy. So I'm not sure if I'll go out and get that during the day today, or if I'll just kind of skip that ingredient and try to replace it with something else. But some cherry tomatoes, a ranch packet. I only have this ranch dip, so I think that should work. A pepper and some carrots. I just checked out our sourdough, so I am making some homemade sourdough flatbreads. I'll show you the sourdough closer up here, but I'm really excited about this. I have made this before, but I thought it needed salt. So I got this recipe from someone on YouTube. I will kind of show their handle here, and I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be doing flatbread pizzas later on for probably lunch or dinner. I'm not sure which one, but I thought I would just kind of show you that here in this video as well. But it's already 7 a.m. so I did kind of write down everything that I needed for this meal prep first before I did this part. So I do actually have to go get our toddler right now, and I'll just kind of show you as I go along through the day. It might be kind of broken up just because we do have 2 young kids, so I'll just do things when I can. And then we also have church to go to later on here as well. But anyway, I am really excited about all of these meals. I think they're all gonna be pretty point friendly and delicious. The granola, point friendly for like a small portion. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I'll show you everything as I go about it through the day. I've got the bacon all laid out on a sheet tray. I'm gonna bake this for probably 20 to 25 minutes. I like our bacon pretty crispy. Here's what I'm having for breakfast. It's just a light English muffin with a piece of Velveeta and a Trader Joe's hash brown patty and a banana. Now I'm making lunch. I'm making the sourdough flatbreads for the pizza. So it did take me all day to do this meal prep and to clean up from it, but that's because we did a lot of things in between. But here's lunch. It was really tasty. I'm back and I'm gonna start prepping again. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just clean up some strawberries. So I'm just gonna take the strawberries I got from the store and put them in this container. And I just like to soak my strawberries in vinegar and water for a little bit, usually like 10 or so minutes. And then I rinse it all off and I just store it in the fridge. I find that it lasts a lot better and it is a good way to kind of clean your strawberries. I'm gonna do that first. And then I'm gonna get started on chopping the veggies and shredding the zucchini. I'm actually going to put this zucchini in this bowl just so I can kind of get some of that water out, since zucchini is full of water. After it sits for a few minutes, I'll also just kind of squeeze it. I took a really long break, but that makes you happy? I took a really long break. We had lunch and I just prepped, like basically chopped everything I had to. Now I'm going to get started on the granola. So this should be a really easy recipe and I'll take you along for that now. And then while the granola is cooking, I am going to just clean up from lunch, clean up from all of this prep that I've done, and then I'll kind of continue on with making the meal prep. I have the oven preheating at 350. I'm just going to get everything going in this bowl. So I have the oats, coconut oil. This is maple syrup. You could definitely use like a syrup, a sugar-free syrup of some sort. Cocoa powder. Walnuts, again, you could just totally leave those out if you don't want them, or if you want to save on calories and points. And there's some almond butter. I'm actually going to add a little bit of salt just because I'm using just almond butter. It doesn't have any sugar or salt or anything like that. And I'm going to give that a really good stir. Now I'm just going to get this on this baking sheet, and it does smell really good. It smells chocolatey like brownies already. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try. I'm going to smooth it out a bit and I'm going to cook it for 20 to 25 minutes. At this point in the day, I made dinner, so I thought I would just show you that as well since I showed you breakfast and lunch. I really like that vegetable fried rice from Trader Joe's, and I did some bacon and cheese quesadillas with pepper on corn tortillas as well. Here is the brownie granola all finished. So we loved this. It is so good. It's so rich. It does taste like a chocolate cookie or like a crunchy brownie, which you normally don't have crunchy brownies, but so good. I put it in 26 servings and it's 4 points per serving. Now moving on to what I prepped for breakfast. I made this potato crusted omelette. So I thought the concept sounded really neat. I wasn't quite sure how it would turn out, but spoiler, it turned out really good. So I basically just put butter down, I put some hash browns down, some shredded zucchini down, and then I just kind of like smashed it with my spatula. This is what my busy kitchen said to do. Covered it, I cooked it for a few minutes, and then took the lid off and I added the cheese, and then I put the egg on top of that. So I added everything but the bagel seasoning to the egg mixture, and I thought that was a really nice flavor. I also added more when I actually ate it as well. So once I put the egg on, I covered it again, let it cook for a few more minutes, and then it was completely ready. I absolutely loved this. It was a great filling breakfast, really tasty, and I loved getting the veggies in for breakfast as well. Now moving on to the BLT pasta salad. So at this point, both of our kids were down to bed. So I just added 4 cups of cooked pasta, shredded carrots, all of those veggies that I had chopped up, the yellow pepper and the tomato. It was really convenient that I had already prepped the veggies, cooked the bacon, so I went ahead, chopped up the bacon. I had some fresh parsley, so I just went ahead and I kind of broke that up and added it. I thought that was a really nice addition. I actually did not end up using mayo or like a buttermilk replacement or that ranch packet. I just made a different dressing. My husband doesn't love mayo-based dressings. So I actually used balsamic vinegar and maple syrup and salt, and then Trader Joe's sells like a ranch seasoning in just like a seasoning bottle. So I went ahead and did that, added a tablespoon of olive oil, and I thought this was a great dressing. It was so light, so refreshing, and my husband really liked it since it wasn't mayo based. So I went ahead, added all of that, mixed it up so it was nice and mixed, and that's it. It was super good. 3 points per serving, although I will say that serving is kind of small. I had a double serving, so really tasty. And here I have all of those breakfast meal preps. Now I'm going to rewind a couple of days for the oats. I'm doing carrot cake overnight oats. I thought this sounded perfect for this time of year. I'm using quick oats. You can use old-fashioned if you like. I just prefer quick oats, but it's up to you. Almond milk, and I'm using maple syrup and some of this Lakanto maple syrup. This is just maple syrup that's sweetened with monk fruit, so it's 0 calories. Well, I guess it's 20 calories, but it's 0 points anyway. And then some non-fat plain Greek yogurt, chia seeds, coconut, and then of course shredded carrot. You can shred your own. I'm just doing the easy route. And then the seasonings are going to be vanilla. There's some ginger, cinnamon, salt, and then it calls for walnuts. I don't actually have any, so I'm just going to use some of these honey roasted pistachios and just kind of chop them up a little bit for the top. This recipe is 4 servings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up these pistachios. So I'm doing a 1/4 cup. Now I'm adding in the oats. I'm adding 1.5 cups of oats, 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, a 1/2 cup of shredded coconut. This is unsweetened coconut. Actually, it's flake coconut, which I don't know how it's different than shredded. A 1/2 cup of shredded carrot. Seems a little weird to put carrot in oatmeal, but this recipe sounds really good. 1 cup of plain yogurt. This is plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Now I'm adding in the syrup. So I'm using 4 tablespoons total. 3 tablespoons of this Lakanto syrup and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You know, use whatever kind of sweetener you'd like. The recipe says honey or maple syrup. You could use probably just like sugar or monk fruit sugar, anything like that. I will say that I do think this is sweeter than syrup, normal syrup, but I like my oatmeal to be really sweet. Next is a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just eyeballing these 2 ingredients, but you can measure if you want. Some salt, just dump a little bit in. Calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. And finally, some milk. This is the last thing I'm gonna add before stirring it up. And then of course we do have those pistachios that I'm gonna add on top. But I'm sure you could completely skip the nuts altogether if you wanna not use points or calories for that. This does smell pretty good already, I will say. But I'm excited to see if this does taste or is reminiscent of carrot cake. I really love carrot cake. I really wish I had 4 of the same containers, but I don't. So I'm just going to, I guess I'll just use this 1/4 cup and just keep dividing it so that way it's an even amount in all of them. I thought I would go ahead and give you my review of this recipe now while I'm finishing it up. I'll also leave the points on the screen. I thought this recipe was really good. The one change I would make is I would add the nuts to each serving as I'm eating it, because by the 4th day the nuts were kind of soft, but overall it was really delicious. I really did enjoy eating all of these recipes this week, and I thought I would just kind of include a little bit of me trying each recipe. The egg bake was very delicious, and it really lasted well for the 4 days that I ate it. The granola was super delicious. I loved the crunch. It was great to have a snack prepared that kind of allowed me to have something a little bit sweet but also healthy. The pasta salad was good. I just loved having some food ready for the week, so hopefully I will continue doing this. That's all I have for you today. I find that if I prep in any sort of way, it is helpful. Even if I just make a meal and we have leftovers the next day, or I just kind of chop up fruits and veggies in the morning for the rest of the day. But I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you next time.